Alright, guys. Well, I'm back. I kind of feel bad. I know for like the two people that watch these videos, but once again, I promised something to you guys and I just couldn't pull through. In December, I promised that I would be doing videos of lists of stuff related, uh, because that's the time of year when people are making lists and stuff like that. But of course, just around that time, the fan decided to go out on my laptop. So for a few weeks, I was without a laptop while I was getting fixed up. So I'm gonna do something a little different now, because I feel like I owe you guys. I'm gonna do one video and two reviews. So this is gonna be more or less a test of how quickly and succinctly I can get my point across without rambling. So let's get started. At the end of the year, the two most talked about films had to be Les Miserables and Django Unchained. And I got the opportunity to see both of them. So I'm going to start by reviewing the 2012 film Les Miserables. This is the first film adaptation of the musical and not just the Victor Hugo novel. The plot is convict Jean Valjean is released from prison and after being in prison for 19 years for stealing a loaf of bread, and he decides to break parole and start a new life when a priest gives him a second chance. And that's the basic gist, which gets everything kick-started and a lot of unhappiness unfolds. I guess that's why it's called The Miserable. So, I mean, what else can you say about this movie? Everyone's heard about this movie. Everyone's heard how great this movie is. Just won Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Actor at the Golden Globes, and rightfully so, because Hugh Jackman does a fantastic job as Jean Valjean. Actually, I haven't seen the X-Men movies, but if you were to see the X-Men movies, there's no way you could guess that this guy could sing, and man, he can really sing. Anne Hathaway plays Fantine, does a fantastic job. Very, very strong singing voice. The big showstopper was I Dreamed a Dream. Everyone knows it. I'm sure you've all heard of it or heard about it by now. And the fact that she got her hair cut live during the filming. Russell Crowe plays Inspector Javert, who works for the French police and is always pursuing Jean Valjean for breaking parole. I'm not a big Russell Crowe fan because he always has the same expression on his face in every movie he's in, I swear. And Russell Crowe, I'm sure he's a good guy, but like I said, I'm not a big fan of Russell Crowe, but Russell Crowe shouldn't sing. I mean, that's all I can really say. I mean, it's not that he's a bad singer. I mean, he can definitely carry a tune, but there's no passion, no drive in it. There's no strong emotion in his singing at all. I had never actually seen the musical before I saw this movie, so with Russell Crowe's performance as Javert, I couldn't invest in him because I didn't care about him, because Russell Crowe wasn't giving me a reason enough to invest in him. Amanda Seyfried plays Cosette, the daughter of Fantine, who is later adopted by Jean Valjean. She does a fair job. She's a decent singer, nothing too great. I mean, Cosette isn't a very well-written character anyway, but Eddie Redmayne plays Marius. Again, a very, very great singing voice. Very good job. Helena Bonham Carter and Sacha Baron Cohen play swindling innkeepers. Wasn't a big fan of them. I mean, if you saw my Sweeney Todd review, you probably know that I am not wild about Helena Bonham Carter as a singer. And once again, it's a very over-the-top it's a very over the top role that she could deliver on, but doesn't, and it just bewilders me. Sacha Baron Cohen was very good as Pirelli in Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd, but didn't really impress me in this movie. Samantha Barks plays their daughter Eponine, and she's very good, very good. I mean, the people that are really good in this movie are really, really good, and it's enough to make you overlook the people that aren't as good. This movie is visually stunning as well. It is just the set pieces. I'm sure most of it is CG, but the set pieces, it's all very grand. It just has a very big open feel, and it's got great music. It's very well written, very good music. And I thoroughly enjoyed it without even seeing the musical beforehand. So I would definitely, if you like musicals and are a fan of Les Mis, I would definitely recommend seeing this if you haven't already. I would give Les Mis 4.5 French flags out of 5. Now, the other night, I think it was Friday night, I just went to see Tarantino's new epic piece of film, Django Unchained, which I'm sure all of you have heard all about. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, because it's all over the internet that Quentin Tarantino got in that fight with the guy interviewing him. But nonetheless, Django Unchained. Django is a slave who is picked up by German bounty hunter Dr. King Schultz, who needs Django's help to help him identify men that he needs to kill for a bounty. And in doing this, he frees Django and offers to help him find his wife, who is under the ownership of Calvin J. Candy. This is a very good film. Not Tarantino's best, but definitely his most insane. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff in some crazy movies, but this one had my jaw dropped for minutes because it was just so spectacularly insane. Jamie Foxx does an excellent job as Django, but the real star to single out in this movie is Christoph Waltz as Dr. King Schultz. He rightfully earned that Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. Let me tell you, he is hysterically funny, and he delivers a vast array of emotions, and is just a really well-written character. So, good job to him. Congratulations on the award. And Leonardo DiCaprio, in his first truly villainous role, he needs to do more villainous roles because he is fantastic in this movie. He's just slimy and truly loathsome. I mean, he does a very, very good job. Kerry Washington plays Django's wife, Broomhilda. Not too much to say about her because you don't see her that often, and she's always, frankly, getting beat up when you do see her. So she kind of gets to the short end of the stick in this movie. Samuel L. Jackson plays a slave named Steven, who is like basically the teacher's pet of Candy. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Calvin J. Candy. I don't think I said that, but Samuel L. Jackson always does a good job. He did phenomenally in this role because you truly hate the way he just sucks up to Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, kind of like in Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, this movie is not always historically accurate, but the stuff with the slavery is brutally honest, and I know you probably heard that Spike Lee is publicly boycotting this movie because of the way Tarantino supposedly is portraying slavery, but this is in no way degrading to slavery at all. Tarantino does a very good job at portraying it the way the way we hear it was. So it's very, very good. If you thought Kill Bill was bloody. You ain't seen nothing yet. If you saw my Planet Terror review, I talked about how gory that movie was. This kind of has that same style of blood where, like, one bullet will unleash buckets of blood. It's like there's a scene towards the end where there's a big shootout at Candy's plantation. That's when my jaw hit the floor because there was so much gunfire and blood, and it was just like on everything and everywhere, and just, oh my god, I can talk about it for forever. It doesn't mean anything unless you see it. There's uh there's a funny scene where a group of people, they're kind of like KKK surrogates, get together, and Tarantino just outright makes fun of them. He's just they're whining about how the eye holes in their hoods aren't big enough. It's such a funny scene because it's just, you can tell Tarantino is just outright making fun of them. It's just a very clever movie. Not Tarantino's best though. But it's very good. It's well written. It's well paced. The action is entertaining and insane. It's just definitely not for everyone though. So I would give Django Unchained 4.5 silent D's out of 5. So there's my double review of Les Miserables and Django Unchained.